Thank you. Tonight, NBC2 is uncovering a side of the Southwest Florida economy that often goes unnoticed.
There's over 3,000 manufacturers from Punta Gorda down to Marco Island.
America lost 5 million manufacturing jobs during the last decade, but we're bouncing back. The last 2 years saw 500,000 new jobs in manufacturing. It led us to ask the question, what is actually made in Southwest Florida? And NBC2's Chad Oliver's here with some surprising results.
Well, Lindsay and Peter, there's a perception that we don't really make anything in Southwest Florida. Tourism is so popular, but that's not really true. We all know the popular brands like Chico's and Norman Love chocolates, but we were granted access into places you've probably never heard of, companies that are based here and ship their products around the world.
Ground-based components using aerospace technology. The market itself is billions, of course.
Shaw Development sells to some of the biggest names making heavy-duty vehicles.
And it cleans up 99% of the diesel emissions.
Their parts reduce pollution.
It could be fire trucks, it could be garbage trucks, school buses, transit buses. We spend a lot of time cleaning.
CEO Kevin Hawksworth shows off products that will soon ship to 75 countries.
All up and down Africa, South America, Asia.
Some parts protect American lives.
Wherever we have deployment of armed forces.
Fuel systems for the U.S. military.
In Iraq, they've been used in Afghanistan.
Strong enough to withstand roadside bombs.
They were designed to take the blast.
Just getting materials here is challenging. Shaw Development spends almost $1 million a year on inbound shipping. No, Southwest Florida isn't centrally located, but that wasn't the goal of the company's founding family.
His son, Jim Shaw, moved the company down to Southwest Florida.
Originally a pet project for the retirement years. So why remain here?
Quality of life equated to a quality of business.
The mission of the company is to export environmentally friendly products.
Inside an unassuming warehouse, we find a company that did $1.4 million in sales in November.
People have no clue you're here.
That's right.
Jose Lopez has been going green for 20 years. He specializes in environmentally friendly fertilizers and insecticides.
We produce our own label. This is for one of the fungicides that we have. We got 3 different trucks.
Lopez hopes to soon hire 2 more workers. They bottle, package, and then drive the products to Miami. So why does Lopez base his company in Port Charlotte?
There's a saying in the Dominican Republic, say you better be the head of the mouse than the tail of the lion.
Here, he is the head. Charlotte County's largest exporter.
You know, every time that we label on the box, we say manufacturing in Port Charlotte, Florida, USA.
That is just a sample of some of our innovative companies. Medical device manufacturer Arthrex in Naples employs 1,000 people, but the vast majority, 85% of manufacturers in Southwest Florida, employ 10 or fewer workers. Lindsay and Peter, with unemployment around 9%, you'd think these companies wouldn't have a problem finding qualified workers. Not the case, and tomorrow we'll explain why.
Looking forward to it, Chad. Thank you.
Well, we spent a lot of time focusing on the national unemployment rate.
But more attention is now being placed on another number, 600,000, as in 600,000 job openings right now in the field of manufacturing. 5,000 of those are in Florida. But we can't fill those job openings because we don't have enough trained workers.
Well, tonight our Made in Southwest Florida series focuses on closing that skills gap. Chad Oliver back. You went to school for this assignment, right?
I did have to go back to school, Kelly and Peter, and you know what, when we think about the education of today, it's no longer just about reading, writing, and arithmetic. The focus really has shifted to STEM. Stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Get this, 90% of Americans think manufacturing is important for the U.S. to remain strong globally, yet only 35% say they would encourage their kids to pursue a career in manufacturing.
Forward, back up.
Your traditional shop class has gone away. Nobody's making birdhouses and clocks anymore. Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Few feel the pressure of closing the skills gap like Sue Rochon.
All right, talk to me about the piece you got here.
She oversees Lee County's career academies.
That's what they're going to go by.
And develops specialized classrooms like the ones here at South Fort Myers.
We need to prepare kids for college and careers.
In this robotics class, students design, build,
almost done. Every part on here we machine ourselves.
There we go. We're going for the middle.
and then test the robots.
There is no program that says just go put it over there.
Run the arm first.
And because of that, this former car guy
I just got to bring this down.
now wants to be an engineer instead of a mechanic.
I like building robotics. Yeah, it's fun.
Actually, before I wanted to be a veterinarian.
And the football player with a promising future off the field thanks to his programming skills.
All right, go ahead and start it.
This is going to be hard.
Last year, 3 of the 4 seniors on Clyde Grant's team received scholarships because of their work in robotics. A far cry from the shop class he used to teach.
There was no engineering program 10 years ago.
Bring it in. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go to the blue.
Now his students use industry standard software and hardware.
These 12 stations cost $250,000.
Per school.
Per school.
Nice.
Farther.
Out of 13 high schools in Lee County,
Let's go in.
only 3 have the resources to focus on engineering and manufacturing. 4 high schools teach engineering. The others focus on technology.
Back it.
The best part, though, as far as I'm concerned, is when we get to take the kids out.
This year, for the first time, all high schools in Lee County are taking part in STEM at work.
Hello.
Students tour manufacturers like Shaw Development.
And some of them have come out and said, I want to change my career to go into manufacturing or mechanical engineering or something related to this type of work.
They are the jobs of tomorrow.
Going for the red ones.
With the skills being learned today.
Top post. That's it. Nice job.
And those skilled workers are in high demand. In the next 6 years, Florida will need 120,000 new workers in those STEM fields. And by the way, Kelly, jobs in manufacturing tend to pay more than non-manufacturing jobs.
But what about the colleges? I mean, you're actually going to go to college to major in manufacturing. How much of this responsibility falls on, their shoulders?
I think a large chunk of it does, and that's why the governor is pushing so hard to reform higher ed and really reform what kids major in. He's offering this tiered tuition where you wouldn't pay the same rate if you majored in anthropology versus engineering. He wants to give a discount in engineering people who go in that
to
field.
Get more people to go in that direction.
Tomorrow we're looking at the strategy to bring in more business, to bring in more manufacturing.
Fascinating reports.
It's
Thanks
been
a
fun.
lot, Chad.
Florida welcomed a record 85 million visitors last year. Beaches and theme parks, a huge attraction, but there is a push now to diversify the state's economy.
Yeah, this week we've been putting a spotlight on what's made in Southwest Florida. And tonight, NBC2's Chad Oliver examines the strategy to bring in more business.
Kelly and Peter, manufacturing only represents 5% of Florida's workforce. State leaders, of course, want to grow that number, but so does everyone else. This is a global competition for the jobs of tomorrow. Tourism, obviously a strong brand for Florida. State leaders want to build a business brand.
This is how an innovative thought turns into industry.
Yeah, this is a busy time of year for us.
Wow.
Profits created from a problem.
How many bags is he going to make from that?
Forestry Resources found a use for non-native invasive Melaleuca trees.
We sell about 15 different types of mulch.
Oh, wow.
Betsy Allen works to get more products made in Southwest Florida.
Florida is changing its image. I don't believe it happens overnight.
When I ask her about future jobs,
So that's 2 different shifts. But
Allen
this
points to
12
3 specific areas.
biotech, medical device, and pharmaceutical.
All industries that would work in Southwest Florida because of our location. While it's too expensive to haul large products and parts 300 miles from the bottom of Florida to the top, we do have a shipping advantage, especially to growing markets like Latin and South America. This month, more than 100 business owners flew to Colombia with Governor Rick Scott, a trade mission which netted $40 million in new sales. To recruit more business, the governor wants to get rid of the state's corporate income tax. A gamble, some say, because it accounts for 8% of the state's revenue. Other ideas? $12 million for workplace training, double the current funding, less sales tax on new equipment, additional funding for colleges that produce industry certifications, and more money to expand Florida's ports in order to boost exports.
It's a toolbox as I see it, and you need lots of different tools in that box to be able to attract new and have existing businesses grow.
Ideas to boost good old-fashioned ingenuity, the kind that created these jobs 30 years ago.
It's a needed product, and we do a really good job at manufacturing it.
Efforts to rebrand our state as more business-friendly appear to be working. This year, Chief Executive Magazine named Florida the second best place in the country to do business.